that's what whenever I think of faith, I think of fire. And so, Faith, will you come up and will you just please share that fire with us?
Hi, everybody. My name is Faith Fosdick, and I am currently a junior at Ladywood High School. I just wanted to say that I kind of had something planned about what I was going to speak on, but after my three fellow junior friends, who are amazing, just shared, something else kind of came to mind. So this is going to be completely on a whim, but God kind of does that sometimes, you'll learn. Okay, so as they kind of all shared, having a journey with God is not easy, but it's worth it, and it's all about showing your joy to others so that others will see that in you and want to be just like you also. They see what you have and they want it also. So that was something that I always wanted. I always wanted to be that person where people would see me and they would say, ooh, she's different from everybody else. What does she have? I want what she has. So I am a dancer, and I also, like I said, I go to Ladywood High School. And when I was going into high school, I was so ready. I had just gone to 3 years at Pine Hills. I was like full of Jesus. I was like, I'm ready, and I'm going to go into high school. My relationship with God is going to get better, and it's going to grow stronger, and it's going to be just like all my counselors had and just like Debbie has, that amazing relationship with God. And I got into high school, and let me tell you what happened. I broke. I broke. And that happens sometimes, and that's okay, because sometimes we need to break to get stronger. So I got into high school. I got stuck in peer pressure. I lost my faith with God. I still came to BeLoved occasionally. I acted like I had it all together, but I didn't. I went to school. I looked like everybody else. Nobody even knew I had a faith life because I didn't show it, and I didn't act like it. I am also a dancer, like I just said. So I dance at a studio in Milan, Michigan, and I dance with all people who go to public schools. So that was another thing, where I would go there and I would look just like them. I would dress like them, I would talk like them, I would do the things that they would do, I wouldn't act any different, and that was the problem. Because I knew Jesus, I went to Pine Hills, I experienced all the things that we have experienced, but yet I didn't look any different from anybody else. And I was like, okay, well, what do I do? Because I would try, guys, I would really try. I would go in to school and I would be like, okay, today I'm gonna not gossip. Today I'm not gonna use God's name in vain because I know that it's wrong and I know that I should look different. But I would keep failing. And it wasn't until I started praying, it wasn't until I started reading the Bible, it wasn't until I found my faith back again with Jesus that I was able to start changing my life back around and living for Him and acting like Jesus. So a quick story about this. Debbie actually came and did a retreat at my school with a group of other ladies, and I was really scared because Debbie knew who I was in Jesus, and Debbie knew what I had experienced, but nobody else at my school knew what I had experienced. So she came, and Debbie was like, okay, Faith, I'm gonna need you to help me lead this retreat. And I was like, yeah, Debbie, you got it. I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna praise and worship for you, and I'm gonna speak up whenever you need me to. And then we got into the retreat, and I was shaking the entire time because nobody knew that side of me. And it wasn't until Juliana started playing praise and worship music that I was able to finally just say, you know what, God, here goes nothing. This is what I've always wanted. I'm just gonna go for it. And I stood up and I started praising and worshiping. And I opened my eyes at one point, and I think everybody in the room was looking over me like this. Who's this girl? What? What? Nobody knew that side of me, guys. So people would start coming up to me and asking me, you know Jesus? What is that? And I would be able to tell them, hey, he's amazing. You should come to BeLoved with me sometime. And that was another scary thing. So recently, I brought a friend with me to BeLoved, and that was also very scary not because BeLoved is a scary place, but because BeLoved is a different place from anywhere else in the world. And I think we all know that, just like Pine Hills is. It's like a little heaven on earth. So I brought a friend with me, and we were standing and we were doing praise and worship, and I was like all in like always, and I turned over and I looked at my friend, and she was sobbing. She was sobbing her eyes out, and she was like, Faith, I don't know why I'm crying. Like, I just can't stop crying. Like, I don't know what's happening. And I was like, that's Jesus. Like, you're encountering something greater than you and I. She encountered something greater than you and I, and that's what we're all meant to do. We're all meant to bring people to encounter something that's so much greater than you and I are. So if you guys ever get a chance to bring somebody to BeLoved, or for those of you who are still in middle school, to bring somebody to your youth group, or even to bring somebody to church. I still haven't brought a friend from my dance studio to my church yet, because that's still a little scary, because Mass isn't always the most entertaining thing for people who don't understand it. So that's still a challenge, but we're working towards that. But if you ever have a chance to do that, I really encourage you, because once you bring them to the location that they need to be, God is going to take it from there. You bring them, God's going to take over. He always will. He always does. He will never fail you. He will never fail you. So something that I'm going to read really quick is one of my journal entries. When I kept getting into worldly pleasures and worldly things, it's actually the background on my phone. I've never read this to anyone, so this is vulnerable faith. This is Jesus speaking. Jesus says, I am the answer. I am the missing piece, Faith. I am what should fill that cup that you are filling with earthly pleasures. You need me. I am the only thing that will fulfill you. You were made for a life of greatness. Be strong. Be strong, Faith. Today is the day I smile down and get so excited for our journey together. Please don't let me down or run like you have. Stay with me. But if you do, I'll be right here waiting for your return with open, loving arms. I love you, Jesus.